Yo, what's poppin'? We here. Welcome to the channel. I'm gonna make this quick. This is the video that I wanted when I was looking up the differences between Android and iPhone, specifically iPhone 15 Pro versus the Samsung 24 Ultra. Now I want to make it clear. Back in my day, I remember getting the first, or to me, the first Android device, and it was the G1 on T-Mobile. It was candy bar, had the screen that flipped up, and it had a keyboard. It was like after the Sidekick, and this was, I'm pretty sure, the first Android device. And I was blown away by the capabilities that this new device would have. And then eventually, I would find myself in the iPhone ecosystem. And when I tell you I'm in the not iPhone, iOS, Mac, Apple ecosystem, that's the word. When I tell you I'm in the Apple ecosystem, look, iPad mini, iPad Pro, Air Max Pods. Where's my Apple Watch? AirBuds Pro. I have a Mac as my Mac Pro as my computer. I have a Mac Mini desktop. I have a Mac Air. Like I am in. I have Apple TV. I am in the ecosystem. And it's been multiple iterations of Apple that I've gone through the iPhone after iPhone after iPhone. So much so that I've not even changed the name of my iPhone. It's just when I get it, it updates to a new iPhone number. So it says currently I'm on iPhone 10. All right. So I've been through 10 iterations of the iPhone. And I say all that to say, I got on YouTube and I was looking, I'm like, I want to know what it's like being in an Apple ecosystem that long and coming over to Android. And all I got on on the YouTube was a bunch of videos comparing the cameras. Like, bruh, do I look like I care? I mean, it's important for some people, but that's not what I'm looking for. Like, I just want a real, honest, true opinion on what was it like. Don't give me hardware. Don't compare operating system versus operating system because I know that it's all subjective. I just want to know, can I exist in a world where my entire ecosystem is Apple and yet my phone is Android or Samsung? So here's that video for you. Let me give it to you. So check this. I've been using the Ultra 24 for about a week. And my wife warned me. She said, "You're going to iPhone?" She gave me that like judgmental look where like, blue versus green. She was like, "You're going to iPhone?" Yeah, I'm going to iPhone. Or "You're going to Android?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm going to Android." And she was like, "You'll be back. You'll be back." But I don't know this time. I don't know. So here are the gripes I had about iPhone. Why I decided to go ahead and make the switch. I've had the iPhone for what, 10, 11 iterations, and not much has changed. And it's okay, right? It's okay if you like the familiarity with I get a new phone, everything transfers over and it just works and it does its thing. That's cool. And that has been very nice. And I use my phone. I don't play games on the phone. I use it for the basic things. And so for me, it did work well. And again, like it was a part of my ecosystem of Apple and iOS and everything sort of worked well for the minimal things that I did use. But Android keeps calling me because there's so much customization and it feels like it's brand new, right? There's all these bells and whistles and things that can change. And so I thought to myself and I contemplated and I said, what is holding me into the ecosystem? If I have everything else that gives me, you know, the in into the Apple world, does my phone really need to also have that thing? And so I questioned. I did sort of an audit, and I said, okay, here are the things within the Apple ecosystem that I use, and do I use them on my phone? Notes. I've tried to force myself to use Notes. Notes is okay, but I'm a Google Keep guy. I love Google Keep. Yeah, I'm just there. It's just I love Google Keep. So there's that. My entire suite of products that I use, I don't use any of the iOS notes, or not notes, pages or sheets or numbers or whatever it's called. I don't use any of those things. I'm all in the Google suite. I don't use Apple Music. I use Spotify, and currently I use Pandora because Pandora has the best radio station algorithms to like help you discover new music. Maybe I'll do a video on that later. Anyhow, keep going. I subscribe to the cloud and Google Cloud, so I'm using both because I back up my photos to Google Photos as well as Apple. Sort of wasting money there. I have the Apple Card, but I don't really use that. FaceTime. I have an iPad. I have two iPads. I could still FaceTime, iMessages. Now with the RCS, I don't know. iMessages are going to become obsolete. Maybe I shouldn't say that, but anyhow, so I say all that to say there's all these things in the ecosystem that I realized that I'm not using. I'm not using reminders. I like Apple Maps, but only for specific circumstances. And I toggle between that and Google Maps and Waze and all the others. And so I was like, okay, what else is holding me in? What else is holding me in? Well, I have the watch, right? I have the watch. My gripe with the watch is it doesn't give me, I want my notifications all the time. Even if I'm on the phone and it's lit up, I want the notification to still come to my watch. I wasn't getting that with the watch, the Apple Watch, and I don't use any of the other features. My wife loves the rings and she loves talking on it, and she's always needed to find her phone. Okay. Those are cool things, but for her, the Air Max Pods that I have, I don't really use them with my phone. Those stay at my desk because I spent a lot of money on those and they're going to keep them at my desk. My AirPod Pros, I rarely use them. Actually, when I'm working out, I prefer my Bose Quiet Comforts. They're my tried and trues. And so I really don't use those. And actually, just yesterday, I connected the AirPod Pros with the Samsung and it still worked with noise cancellation. I just don't get any of the fancy things like taking it out and it pausing and all that. But whatever. I just needed to hear the sound and get some great quality noise cancellation, and that still works. So technically, I can still use that with my Samsung phone. So I say all that to say, I decided to go ahead and make the jump and see if I could get into Android and enjoy it. And here's the things that I do enjoy about the Android customization, hands down, the best. I really enjoy the customization aspect of this. I downloaded the Nova launcher. And so, one of the gripes I've had with Android is that you know how on the iPhone, if you swipe down, it goes to search and the keyboard pops up and you can like you can type in or search what app you want. I use that feature probably 99% of the time, so much so that I don't even take the time to organize any of my apps on the screen because I just go and search the one that I want and pull it up quickly. There was sort of like a two-step process on the Android, right? You have to like swipe up, it's a different motion, and then you have to like click in the search box to pull the keyboard up so you can start searching. The last time I switched to Android, that was like one of my biggest gripes, and I was like, you know what, I can't take this. I need to go back to iPhone. Nova Launcher gives me that ability. I swipe up, keyboard pops up, and I can start searching. Cause I mean, who got time to be organizing apps and getting all organized? And nobody got time for that. Anyhow, so I'm in love with that. I was afraid of some of the apps not being as polished, if you will, as on the iPhone, specifically using it as a key for my Tesla. Actually, don't tell Apple this, but I think it works better than it did on my Apple device. And outside of that, I mean, other like day to day things that you would want, I do like the Apple keyboard. I thought it was one of the best out there. The Samsung keyboard that comes with the Samsung Ultra is okay, but the G board, hands down, a great keyboard. I mean, you have the input method of like, regular texting, then you have swipe, and then you have the voice, which one of the things that I was really about was like voice. I want to be able to say the thing and then just like seamlessly without minimal errors, get the words onto the thing so I can go ahead and text because I hate typing and texting and all that jazz. And so it does it beautifully. And on Apple, it was okay, but it wasn't, I don't think it's as good as the Gboard. I'm just saying. Another feature that I like is that with messages, I can, pair it with any device and bring those messages to that device. I know with Apple, with iMessages, we had that ability, but here's a win. I don't think unless it was iMessage, it would actually show up in your messages. And so you were missing out on those folk with the green bubbles. You weren't getting those messages on your device. And so isn't that sort of like, come on, Apple? Anyhow, I'm not getting that anymore. It it works. It just works. I mean, even with the RCS, I'm texting my wife with the RCS addition because now she has my 15 Pro. I gave it to her. Uh, with that addition, chill out, chill out, Zoom or Apple. Anyway, with with that addition, uh, I could see when she's texting me, right? Like I can see when she's responding. Again, the customization on the iPhone, especially when you add in like a third party launcher like Nova Launch, I mean, you can just everyday things that would cause friction in you using your device. You can like change that. I changed it so that if I double tap on the screen, it brings up all of the previous applications and now I can like sort of like scroll through and get rid of them. And I know this is just like a simple gesture of just like swiping down or swiping up on the iPhone and like having it pull up, but it's not always that intuitive. And I feel like just a double click, boop boop, and I'll use it more often. So I love that. So there are these like I haven't used the camera much to speak to that because I've realized that I just don't take pictures that often or video that often on my phone. And when I do, I feel like it suffices, right? It's going to give me a camera phone photo. If I really want, something that is super detailed and specific, I got other camera and equipment to make that happen. But like in the moment, and I'm just trying to capture my daughter on a swing, smiling at her dad, this camera works perfectly, right? It does what I needed to do. So all that comparison about cameras and all that, like chill out, bro. Chill out. It's not that serious. All the apps that I use on a daily work just fine, right? Like there's no need to worry about that. And again, like I feel that there's an improvement on all the things, except here is my caveat. Face ID on the iPhone, hands down, the best biometric way to like unlock your device because the face ID on the Samsung Ultra is spotty. Like I feel like you need like optimal light and optimal conditions for it to like recognize and open up. So that one's spotty, and then the fingerprint, the ultrasonic fingerprint, especially with the screen protector on, is finicky at most. Like I've tried to register it multiple times. Sometimes I have to like lick my thumb, which is kind of weird. And when I lick my thumb, it works perfectly. Like if it's moist, I guess I'm just ashy. But if it's moist, you got a moist thumb, it's gonna work good. But again, I just feel like Apple wins. You win in that category. And I mean, there's tons of other like cool features that just come, with a having an Android and that customization and it being open for others to just like bring their creativity to the device to make it more suitable for what you need in your life. The only other complaint that I have is that the S24 Ultra is huge. It's a huge phone, and it makes it difficult to do one-handed things while you're on the phone. But outside of that, I mean, it's a beautiful screen, probably the most screen real estate that you will get out of any phone. And I appreciate that. I think in the future I will opt for a smaller phone just because the form factor of the hand, being able to put it in my pocket. I wear tight pants, and that's a huge bulge that it has sticking out of your pants. But yeah, other than that, it's a great phone. I dig it. Um, I did get this cool. Look at this little pop socket wallet. This is fire. Because it's like nice and slim. It adds functionality to your phone because, like I said, it's a big phone. So now you have this to like give you a little holding, so that you can do some one-handed things, right? And this wallet is just good. Also, I can do tap to pay with this. With the wallet in my Tesla, I can get it to charge. So yeah, all in all, for those who are wondering, is it really such a radical change to go from iOS to Android for your phone, even though you're in the ecosystem? I would say if you're not utilizing all of the Apple apps, then Android is a pretty good option, and it opens up a world of possibilities for you. As far as phone choices and the things that you can have and do with your device. That's it. That is my first impression, if you will, of going from being a long time Apple fanboy and now switching just one of my devices to the Samsung Ultra 24. And if you're worried about, or if you're wondering what I paired with that as far as my peripheral and watch, it is the Fitbit Sense 2. This is doing all the things that I wanted my Android, or all the things that I wanted my Apple Watch to do as far as notifications. That's all I really care about. Everything else is just a plus. Like, give me my notifications on the watch. That's all I really want to watch for, aside from like, hey, let me be able to tell time. And the battery life on this thing, beautiful. I at least get 3 days. I'm sleeping in this thing. Uh, whereas every single night. So if you want to buy, what is this? Apple Watch 9, I got it for sale. Anyhow, I thank y'all for tuning in. I hope this video was helpful because again, this was what I was looking for out there, just like a real life experience. Screw the tech talk. If you want to talk tech, or if you want to know like what are some other differences and things that I've noticed, like hit me up in the comments. If you've recently made the transition, or if you're on either side, like let me hear your argument as well. Until next time, I appreciate y'all. Deuces.